masks are throwing me off. If you're not watching, Curt and I both have on Mardi Gras masks that are
Heck yes, we do for Fat Tuesday.
Super sparkly. They're the traditional purple and green and gold Louisiana Mardi Gras.
It looks good on you. It looks okay on me.
It looks
when you
good
called
on
yesterday,
you, especially with your new haircut, Curt.
It's spiffy. That's what. Okay. Well, we'll keep these on for at least a bit, right?
Well,
Happy
yeah, it's kind of
Fat Tuesday.
I found it's very hard to wear a mask with glasses.
Do you have your glasses on underneath that?
I have to, otherwise I'm not going to see our notes for our show.
Okay. Well, happy Fat Tuesday from Curt and Jen in the morning. Yeah. So we've got our podcast here. We'd love that you're listening and you're viewing. Again, like, follow, subscribe, whatever you feel comfortable doing. We would appreciate all of that. And yeah, you look. If you're not watching it, you can watch the video later on YouTube or whenever you want. But you look good, Jen. You always look good. Although your hair is, you know what? Forget it.
Yeah, don't say it because I already know when you put a mask on.
Whenever you whenever you wear something with a strap on, whenever you wear something that includes a strap, it's gonna pull your hair like that. So
that's right. All right.
Oh, what's going on today on the show? We're going to tell you about this a really cool event that Jen is hosting. We'd love for you to come and join her. We'll tell you about that. Also, a story about how happiness does not buy happiness necessarily.
Yeah. We're going to hear about your year so far in 5 words or less, which are great. How many episodes of a show should you watch before you give it up, which is surprising to me.
Well, yes, and we'll talk about that as well as something about a Cheeto Pokemon and $88,000.
Unbelievable.
How do those all work together? Finally, some suggestions on how to help a friend who has lost a pet, as sad as that is. That's good advice to have. Let's go ahead and you want to start the program? Sure. Okay.
Right. First, we're going to talk about what is Fat Tuesday since we're wearing these masks. And Mardi Gras is a week-long celebration that culminates on Fat Tuesday, which is the day before Ash Wednesday. It's an annual celebration, one of the most iconic in the United States, known for its exuberant parades, festive music, indulgent food, and Fat Tuesday is the grand finale that marks the end of this revelry and excitement. It's basically this final burst of excitement before the solemn observances of the Easter season. Known in Mardi Gras. I mean, it's most known in New Orleans in Louisiana.
Right. You get your fun music like this.
Nice. Okay.
Good old New Orleans jazz and stuff. That was Trombone Shorty. We love him.
Have you been to New Orleans?
I was in New Orleans for such a shockingly short time. It's not even funny. It was part of a cruise that I went on. This is like mid-90s. My folks were there and a bunch of friends, and we were supposed to have a day here and a day here and a day and whatever. And we got to the rough seas. It took forever to get there. And so we got to Mardi Gras. They're like, okay, you can get off the boat now, but be back here in 6 hours. All right. So yes, I've been to Mardi Gras. I mean, I've been to New Orleans for all of 6 hours.
I have been to New Orleans, and everyone should visit if they have the opportunity. One of my best friends goes to Mardi Gras the past, I want to say 4 or 5 years, and they actually are part of a crew, meaning they're on a parade float.
Cool.
It's really awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Super cool.
And then people were already thinking, what's that great event that Jen has coming up that I can go see her at? Well, let's do the music for that.
All right. It's called Pouring on Purpose, Women, Wine, and Impact. So it's an event that our good friend Laura is hosting. Laura owns this company called Bell and Bottle, Belle, Bell and Bottle. And that's a company that connects women and wine together. And the event is this Thursday evening, the 6th, March 6th at Callan Cellars in Woodinville. I'm emceeing, and it's basically an event dedicated to empowering women through connection, conversation, and of course, great wine. And it's an opportunity to network and get inspired because you'll hear from women who own their own businesses as well as women in the wine industry. It's just going to be, a fun night. You can grab some girlfriends. You can come alone because there's going to be instant girlfriend and friendship. I believe that is to be true. So go to bellandbottle.com, BELLE, and you spell out and bottle.com, and you can get all the details and get tickets. And I hope to see you there.
Are you going to stick around and sign autographs after?
Sure. If anyone wants my autograph, that's
fun. Here again, since the last big earthquake that I remember around this area, we're going back to 2001, right? In Nisqually.
Yeah.
that the last one? And I mean, there have been small ones here and there. Another one of those happened yesterday. So, not that I'm, have to experience an earthquake once in my life, but again, they're like, "Did you feel it?" And I was like, "No." So yesterday, the waters surround the San Juan Islands. Yesterday morning, about 5 o'clock a.m., 4.5 magnitude earthquake just off of Deer Beach on Orcas Island. So you may have felt something. I have a feeling, unless it was really noticeable, I just feel like, oh, someone must be opening the garage door or something like that, right? But it's a completely different feeling, I imagine, to actually be in part of an earthquake, right? Because
Right.
you were here for the Nisqually. I moved here about 6 months after the Nisqually quake. So once again, uh, no quake for me.
Well, I didn't feel it either, but I was reading some of the stories on Facebook because our good friends Lodi and Alan from Kent and Allen, who used to
Hmm.
be on the radio,
They're up in
huge morning
Friday
show.
Harbor in their retirement mansion home.
I was reading Lodi's post and all the comments underneath it, and it is crazy about how the pets reacted to it. Like they were scared and shaking and not coming out from under the bed or couch. I mean,
Hmm.
it was a good shake for
And
them.
often that happens even before the earthquake happens. That's where the animals are just amazing. You'll hear about people. It's like, wow, all the whatever, all the pigs and cows are acting weird, huh? That's strange. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
so they sense it in advance. But okay, so okay, if you felt it, you felt it. If not, you didn't. I'm sure there'll be others in the future,
Yeah.
right?
Curt, I wanted to mention this because you know this. I was super excited to be in person today because of our masks and Mardi Gras and Fat Tuesday and the whole thing. And yesterday you met up with me at Town and Country in Mill Creek so I
Hmm.
could give you your mask that I had gotten for you because um I got a call yesterday from Pat, my boyfriend, who was supposed to be at work on his firefighter shift. And I'm
Right.
like, what's going on? He's like, well, I got bad news. And I said, what? And he's like, I tested positive for COVID. I'm like,
Uh,
damn it.
hmm.
Damn it.
Which means that we got to find out if Jen did you get the test last night? You're going to take it this
I'm
morning.
I'm gonna test today. I'm gonna test
Okay.
today because I'm about a day behind him on exposure.
Okay.
He was exposed by a patient that he saw at a call. It was a fall, and then they ended up coughing in his face, and they had COVID.
They ended up coughing. Who coughs in somebody's face?
I mean, people, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to focus on that part. That he got it from work. It was work related.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah. Anyway, it's a thing, and I'm sorry I'm not there in person, but at least we're celebrating, and we have the opportunity to do this remotely because of COVID.
It's true. I did. It was like a drive by. I pulled it. Jen's like, I'm at the Field House, the little restaurant here. So just drive by, and I did. I pulled up, and she walked out to the car, and here's your mask, weirdo. Bye. So that, and that was all she wrote for that
Yeah,
one.
there you go. This is sad. Like, I feel like this is three big deaths.
Well, I'm going to ask what the other two were, and you're going to blank on it because that's what I always do.
Well, I mean, I guess Gene Hackman and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
mean, I don't know if you count that as kind of one clump, but then also that other gal,
Roberta
Michelle.
Flack.
Oh, and
Oh,
Roberta
Michelle
Flack. Okay,
Trachtenberg.
this
Yeah.
is four.
Yeah. Okay. We have a few to go on. Well, Dolly Parton's husband, who she talks about a lot,
Yeah.
Carl Dean, after 60 years together, he passed away in Nashville yesterday.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah. So the release from Dolly said, Carl and I spent many wonderful years together. Words can't do justice to the love we shared for over 60 years. Thank you for your prayers and sympathy. I like the meeting story here. Dolly Parton met Carl outside the Wishy Washy Laundromat the day she moved to Nashville in 1964. She was 18. They got married 2 years later and have been together ever since.
I mean, how freaking great is that?
Pretty freaking great, if you ask me.
I love it. So I love their love story. He never liked the limelight at all. He was very private. And Dolly's like, hey, here I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. It worked for them. And I love that. I love that. I'm sad for Dolly because I know that there's a broken heart there,
Yeah, that was, and that was one of those Hollywood, I guess, marriages that you held up as like, hey, they've been together a long, long time.
Yeah.
Success doesn't necessarily ruin your marriage, everybody.
This is not a kind of record you want to set.
And I haven't taken the time yet to listen to the actual speech. Maybe that would change my mind about it. But
No way. What can you possibly say in an acceptance speech where you have to go on for 5 minutes and 40 seconds?
Adrien Brody apparently had a lot to say. So he set an Oscar or Academy Awards record with his acceptance speeches. You said 5 minutes and 40 seconds long. The previous record was set way back in 1943 by Greer Garson, who, can you imagine, rudely took 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
He made them stop the Adrien made him stop the how they play the music
they used to play them off the stage. Yeah.
No, he's like, cut the music. I have more to say.
You know what? Sometimes I kind of wonder if you've got actors and people that think that they're actors, and I wonder if he's not one of them. One of them.
Did you see or hear about this, Curt, that when he was on stage, he took his gum out of his mouth and then tossed it to his girlfriend before the speech.
Now, see, I that to me is like, if somebody else had done it, if Brad Pitt was going up to get an award and he did that, I think people think it was funny and cute. But in this case, they're saying that was annoying.
No, I think that was kind of rude. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I get the blowback he's getting for that, but in 5 minutes and 40 seconds, come on.
Speed it up next time, Adrien.
Yeah.
What's the deal here with this one, Jen? Happiness does not even buy happiness?
Well, okay, so, everywhere around us, there's these people pitching us these hacks for happiness, right? Here's your self-help. Here's the social media influencers, even, friends. And there's a reason for it, is because happiness sells, right? People want to be happy.
Right.
But here's the idea. Trying too hard for maximum happiness might be making us miserable. It drains our mental energy, leaves us with less willpower for other important tasks and decisions. It adds pressure. That creates a snowball effect. So you decide to try making yourself happier, but then the effort depletes your ability to do the kinds of things that actually make you feel good, like being active, productive, and solving problems. So it's all for naught.
It seems like this is an awful lot of stuff getting back to the fact that happiness doesn't even buy happiness.
So researchers are just saying, give up on the pursuit of happiness. Just chill out about it. Don't stress about being super happy all the time. Look at what you already have, accept that, and be happy for that.
The idea, they say you can choose happiness, although sometimes it's more difficult than others. But yes, you can choose to be happy, like Jen Pirak does every day of her life.
I do try to choose joy.
Choose happiness. Why not?
Oh, what's this?
Well, it's interesting is what it is. Yeah, I know. You're reading ahead now. Seattle Kraken have made a move at goalie by bringing back their goalie. Well, you've got several goalies, You may know this. The Kraken's AHL team is the Coachella Valley Firebirds. So they will, often say, hey, we've got an injured forward. Let's bring somebody up from Coachella for a couple weeks until they get better or whatever. So Philip Grubauer, the goalie who's been with the Kraken since the beginning, has not had a great year. And a little while back, they said, you know what, buddy? Thanks, but we're going to let you go to Coachella for a while for a couple of reasons, maybe to get your confidence back. Sometimes it's a confidence thing. I don't know anything about what it'd be like to have people shooting pucks at me at 80 or 90 miles an hour.
They sent him down, basically. They sent him down, brought someone else up, and it wasn't working out. Is that right?
Basically. Well, yeah, the person they brought up only got to play 1 or 2 games, but he's back tonight. Gruby is just in time for tonight's giveaway, which is the Philip Grubauer bobblehead. So people are wondering, it's like, you know what? They obviously had to plan out these bobblehead nights, probably before the season even started, right?
They did. So
now,
yeah.
When he got bumped back down to the AHL, people were like, well, what are you going to do on the bobblehead night? You're going to give away a bobblehead of a player that's not in the team anymore? So hopefully this is not just all right, let's have Grubauer come back for a game because this is bobblehead night, and then we'll put him back down to the AHL. We shall see. But Dana and I are going to the game this evening.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I grabbed some tickets last night. Even though we have season tickets, we did not have tickets for this game. We had shared them with some friends. So We got you know, it might be Groovy's last game, ever. So I want to be there. All right, so there you go. That's the deal. If you're
I'm
a fan of
excited.
Gru, maybe try to be at the game tonight. Entirely up to you. And that's all I have about that, right? Right.
Okay, this story made Curt and I laugh out loud because I read it to you, Curt. I'm like, oh my God, get this. This is hilarious. So Jelly Roll is a country artist, a mega country artist, and he's on this huge weight loss journey. He is a big man, and he's on this weight loss journey. And he's going on tour with Post Malone this summer.
Right.
They have the Big Butt Stadium tour.
We can say it. They're calling it the Big Ass Stadium Tour.
Oh, it's a big ass stadium tour. Yeah, that's right. We can say it. And it's across North America all summer long. So Jelly Roll was doing an interview with someone and talking about his weight loss. And he said, where is it? Well, he said, I'm wondering if I could lose more weight. And when I get to Italy, so he's going to Italy, the bottom line is he was joking about if I lose more weight, people are going to mistake me for Post Malone, which is hilarious if you know both of those people because they're both totally tatted up, including their face. Both of them have their faces tatted up. The only real difference is that Post Malone is skinnier than Jelly Roll.
Right. And Posty isn't that thin of a guy either, although he actually has lost quite a bit of weight recently too. So, but of course, Jelly Roll, I mean, from the day he got up there, he's like, well, that's a big dude. So who knows? Maybe he'll hit his weight loss goal and they will confuse him with Posty.
That's funny.
Posty.
I thought it was hilarious. Maybe it's not as funny as I thought.
No, I think it was a good story. Yeah. More music news. I did not know this, but Alanis Morissette has never done a residency before in Las Vegas until now. She is out on tour right now, and once she wraps up this part of her tour, she is going to do shows straight like eight performances at the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. The extended stay, simply titled Alanis Morissette Las Vegas 2025, between October 15th and November 2nd. You can go see Alanis at her residency. I always thought a residency was like, they'd be there for 3 months or something like that.
Me
or 6
too. Or longer.
Yeah. And maybe they will if the tickets sell well. So
interesting.
Want to go check out Alanis in Vegas. That's how you can do it. Tickets go on sale to the general public coming up here in just a few days on Friday. The
question of the day is describe your year so far in 5 words or less. And I love that Marilyn didn't even use words. She just used 3 of the same emojis, which were the angry face with swearing over the mouth.
It's true. That's all she had. I forgot what I had yesterday, but there's been a lot of good ones too. Anne said, 5 words or less, describe your year. She said, surprisingly unpleasant. Rita said, painful.
Yeah, only 1 word. There's several that only needed 1 word. Meredy said making America great again, so she's getting a little political. Jackie said happy. That's my roommate, and her heart is so happy. She's like glowing. I just love it so much.
Nice.
She's in love, and her world is so great, and I just am so happy for her.
Brittany's words for this year, 5 words or less. Is it over yet?
Oh, Emily said 1 word again, brutal.
Right. We've got Tara, so far so good. Jen said, whoop, there it is.
I wonder what that means. Like, what does she mean by that? Well, there it is.
I'm not sure. That's my favorite answer so far.
I know.
Maya says, taking care of other people. Good for you.
Oh, our friend Sonia said, what the F?
That's probably what a lot of people would have put if they could have. Becky, happy, challenged, and content. That's good.
Yay, Becky.
That's good.
Laurel got a little religious and said, all glory be to God. So she's just praising the Lord.
Marita said, dedicating space for personal growth. She thought that one through. Good one. And Janet says, here's another political one. Trump sucks big time.
That's how she's describing her year.
So far. Right.
Corey said proud and happy. Mark said obnoxious. I want to know more about what's happening in Mark's world that's obnoxious.
Andrea transitions. Steve's 5 words. I love living in Hawaii.
Bragger.
Lucky. Yeah, I'm bragger. Right. Amy's words were, "I work a lot."
And then rounding out the list, Randy said, getting healthier. Yay, Randy. We are proud of
Good.
you for that. And Cheryl said, going downhill fast. Wah, wah.
I think wah wah. All right. Appreciate you guys. We'll have a brand new question of the day coming up here in just minutes. But thank you as always for participating and making it so great. We appreciate you listening, definitely.
I don't feel like we'd get through the day if we didn't talk about this story, Curt Cruz, this ridiculousness.
Well, you're right. And we've heard before about people that find food that looks like, I mean, they say, "Oh, I saw Jesus in a piece of toast." I think that was one of them one time. Or
Yeah.
check it out. These alphabets spell out the word whatever. So we have a new one that somebody spent a bunch of money for that seems kind of silly.
Yeah. It's a flaming hot Cheeto that kind of looks like a Pokemon character. It just sold at an auction for an insane amount of money, the low price of $88,000.
Well, apparently, since I don't know Pokemon, is this not pronounced? Fans think that the Cheeto looks like Charizard. Charizard?
I don't know Pokemon.
One of the rarer characters, so it got the nickname Cheetozard. Cheetos. I don't know. So they put it up on this place in Georgia had it, and they said this kind of looks like that Pokemon thing. We're going to put it up on auction for. They started it at $250. Even then, you're like a Cheeto for $250. That's crazy. But guess what? It kept going up and up and up.
This
Finally,
the auction didn't end until this past weekend, and like we said, it sold for $88,000.
Well, remember we did the story about the banana taped to the wall for like 70 grand. That was considered art.
No, wasn't the banana even more than that?
The banana was way more than that. Yeah, the banana was in the millions, but it's just,
Here's the deal. I want to be transparent about this whole thing. The
okay.
winning bid was actually only 72 grand.
Oh.
It's just that when you tack on all the fees that go with it, it came up to $87,840. So we're just calling it 88K.
But still 72,000. I mean, that's reasonable, okay? But you start putting those extra fees and stuff on. Okay, you want to move on. All right.
We're moving on. I mean, this is so dumb. Who does that?
It does seem a little shameful that there are people that could really use that money to, I don't know, survive. And other people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go spend, 90 grand on a Cheeto."
Okay, how many episodes of a show should you watch before you give up?
This is a good one. Before I started watching Schitt's Creek, which ended up being one of my favorite shows of all time, I watched the first couple of episodes and I was like, I don't really get it. And somebody said, give it one more episode and see if it doesn't click in. And lo and behold, it did for Schitt's Creek. So that's what they're saying here. Sometimes you got to watch more than one episode. Have you ever found that to be true, Jen? With some, like, if you've ever, binged
Here's
something?
the thing. I do not watch a whole lot of TV. I just don't. And so
Okay.
if I'm gonna spend the time watching a show, it's got to get my attention right away, or I'm out.
Okay. Well, they actually IMDb was able to come up with a way to determine how many episodes of some shows you had to watch before it really like hit its stride. So shows like Breaking Bad and Doctor Who, they said it takes 6 episodes before it really clicks in. They said that Friends took 7 episodes before you would like it. I find that hard to believe, but I mean, I don't remember the first season. Maybe the first season was terrible.
They're saying the average number of episodes is 6 to get to the
right.
sweet spot.
The average number was 8 for South Park, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And how about Seinfeld? It said 16. You got to watch 16. There's no way I would give that kind of time to a show.
Me
if I was like,
neither. And I never watched Seinfeld. Did you watch Seinfeld?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Would you say that, I don't know if you can remember back to the first season, but would you say it needed 16 episodes to really click?
Well, the first season, because you know what it became, you know what Seinfeld turned into. The first season was a little painful. Yeah, I watched it just recently. It popped up, and I was like, oh, okay. But they're new at it. They had to get into a groove as well, and they did. And once that happened, lo and behold, it became Seinfeld. But yeah, I don't think that I could stick with something for 16 episodes before I say, oh, now I get it. There's no way. That's not happening at all. Sorry.
Well,
you have something else?
I don't know what you do with that knowledge that we just gave you, but there it is for whatever it's worth.
Well, a lot of our knowledge doesn't really go anywhere, but you've got it in case you need it. All right. This is actually a great story that Jen found, and maybe, unfortunately, any pet owner is probably going to have to deal with the loss of a pet at some point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like losing a pet can cut deeper than many people realize. And here's how friends can help. That was the article I found. I'm like, Kurt, we need to talk about this. I mean, you lost Dexy. How long has it been? Has it
It
been
was
a year?
March of last year. It was the week before we got laid off. That was a great week.
Oh my
Week and a
gosh.
half. So, and some people, myself as well. I mean, it's like, yes, my mom passed away, and I was very, very sad about that. But if for some reason, and I felt guilty. It says something in here about this too. I felt guilty because when my dog died, I think I was in way worse shape.
Well,
Um,
I mean, and if well, they do say that guilt plays into the whole thing. Like you feel like you could have done more for the pet, but
right,
the whole guilt thing between your mom, feeling worse about Dexy's death than your mom's death is because Dexy was with you every single day.
yeah,
Like he was a daily part of your life, and that's what it is with pets, right? A lot
right,
of times they sleep in your bed with you. I mean, they are like there for you all
right.
the time.
And you could argue that, it's like, well, with your mom, my mom died from Alzheimer's, so we knew it was coming. So I don't know if it's feeling worse or less. I just think it's different. That's what it is. It was a different feeling of loss with my mom than it was with the dog. And that at first I was like, well, gosh, I'm a terrible son, but turns out I'm not.
Well,
So,
losing a pet can make you feel lonely, and that's a terrible
mhm,
feeling. So,
mhm.
anyway, experts got together and said, "Okay, here's a few ideas that, might help get
Yeah, with pet
how you
bereavement,
can
how to
help a
cope a little
friend,"
bit better. And
basically.
the first one they say is recognizing that feeling awful when your pet passes is normal. For some grieving owners, a loss of a pet can feel worse than a human death, and that doesn't make them monsters. That just reflects the potential depths of the human animal bonds that you have there.
They also said to offer a sympathetic ear. A lot of people just want to talk about their pet and they don't want to hear like cliches like you can get another pet or he had a good life, which I say sometimes. I am guilty of that. Like I'll say, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, he had a long life and it was a good
Right.
life and blah blah blah." You just got to listen. You just
I
need
think
to
I feel like
listen.
a lot of people are like, they just want to say something because it is awkward when you don't you just don't know what to say. So I think sometimes silence is golden. Just offer a sympathetic ear. Now bonds can run deep with any kind of animal, and this I've been guilty of as well. Thinking oh, so and so just had their I don't know, ferret die or whatever, or their chipmunk, or no, what
Their
do you have? Hamsters.
hamster,
That's what it
their
is.
hamster.
You're like, come on, it's just a hamster. But that is wrong to do. Don't imagine and assume that the grief is commensurate with the size or the type of animal that they've lost. The death of, say, a pet lizard, or somebody said, my friend's dad had a koi pond. He loves those koi fish, and he was so upset when a raccoon got in and got all the koi one summer. Some people be like, they're just fish, but he loved the fish.
Oh,
Hmm.
I didn't realize this. There's up to 30,000 people each year that contact Blue Cross
Hmm.
for pet loss support. So, like, it's Blue Cross, an insurance company. Many aren't simply sad, but also fearful that they may somehow have been responsible for their animal's death or even disappearance. So, it's
Yeah.
like guilt is, like we mentioned before, is a real part of pet loss.
Hmm.
So,
So, and finally, they said, can getting a new pet help? And I don't have any of the science behind this, but I always thought, just like with a relationship, if one relationship ends and you rush right into another relationship, the rebound, if you will, usually not a great thing. And I think that the experts say possibly getting a new pet can help, but it's not a magic bullet. Each animal has its own personality, and a new one will not necessarily fill the void left by another. So keep that in mind too when you've got friends that are grieving. The bottom line: grieving cannot be truncated. I'm sorry, the word is truncated. The sadness and memories can be lasting as well. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, and just be a good friend. We know you're going to be a good friend. You just want the
yeah.
best for your friends.
Yeah. There you go. Hopefully that was helpful. To the end of our program. The time always goes by so fast for us.
It's true. Every single morning.
Thank you for sticking around with us and letting us be part of your day. Here is your podcast question of the day that we will
Mhm.
post on the Curt and Jen in the Morning Facebook page. I will post on my personal page. Curt usually posts on his personal page,
Yep.
and it is because I mean we're getting ready to be out of the winter season, but it's still chilly and it's certainly rainy here in the Pacific Northwest at least.
Right.
What
The
makes your
question.
home cozy?
That's what you said. What makes your home cozy? It could be some of the decor. It could be, you know what? I have actually in our house, we have two gas fireplaces, one in the master bedroom and one in the living room downstairs, and neither of them work. I need to get that fixed.
Are you kidding?
Well, it's been like we've been in the house for like 23 years. But yeah, I need to take the action on that, you know.
That should be on your honeydew list since you're not working, Curt Cruz.
Well, listen, I'm not going to try to fix, a gas fireplace myself. I got to call somebody even for that one. But what about you? What would you say makes your home cozy, Jen?
I mean, I think,
You can say
well, I mean, I think
everything.
the decor helps. The fireplace. I think there's a lot of things. The cozy blankets on the couch,
Mm-hmm.
the people in it,
All of the above. So we're
the
looking for your
love.
answers to that. Let us know what makes your home cozy, and tomorrow we will be discussing it in great detail, or maybe not great detail, but we'll be discussing it tomorrow for sure.
On this last day of Mardi Gras, we hope that you have a exciting, exuberant, fun day.
Yeah.
And like we said, thanks again for being part of the show and letting us be part of your day. We hope that you make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and Curt.
Laugh.
Good for the soul. It's good for the soul, people. Have a great one.